Friends, good morning. Pastor Chuck Blair here. Beautiful morning out this morning, and wonderful to have you here with me today as we look at this idea, what is my purpose? Now, today's purpose of today's service has two purposes. One is to take a look at this idea that we've been continuing on with this story of Noah and the ark, and the other is as well to plug a small group we have coming up that is based on this series, What is My Purpose? And you'll see where the two kind of dovetail today. So the passage we've been looking at in the Bible, for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, Noah and the ark, there's a flood. Think of that metaphorically, those times we face floods in our life. And with the flood lasts 40 days of rain, and then you end up with 150 days of just waters coming and going. And I find that very instructive in terms of how life works as well. And then the ark comes, this ark that says Noah and his family and animals on it comes to rest on Mount Ararat. And what is that all about? Well, that yesterday we talked about is this restfulness that comes from this new glimmer, this new perspective where we really do start to settle and we start to see love kind of taking root and love kind of shining through. And there's a beautiful passage here from Christian New Church Theology that I want to share on this, as it does really like point to the real tenderness and poignancy of this time. And here it is. We come to embody a holy restfulness that results from this new glimmer of understanding radiated by charity, all in this amazing variety. Love that idea. So we come to this restful spot, this holy restfulness. And that's sort of this deep peace. This morning I was out walking. I go out on a long walk every morning to watch the sunrise. And the sun was at just the right angle where everything looked golden. Just for a few minutes, just everything looked golden. And that's that holy restfulness. And I imagine you've had that experience. Maybe it's walking along the beach or hanging out in front of a fire or whatever, where it's just been that little moment of restfulness. And what happens in those moments is what we know, our thoughts, our internal dialogue. We see love come radiating through it, and that love radiating through it changes things so much. And that gets to this point about purpose. What if just try this on for size? Maybe the purpose of life is to awaken our souls, not so much to save our souls. And obviously salvation is part of the game. So I don't want to belabor that too much. But think about that difference between the words awakening and saving. So let's just look at salvation first. If it's all about this salvation, well, if I'm always out to just save my life, that makes life just a big game of survivor. And actually it can be very constrictive. My attentiveness, if it's all about just saving me, my attentiveness can come more and more and more into a spirituality that's just narrowly focused on me, my own problems, my own worries, my own anxieties, my own challenges. And not that we purposefully do that. Again, Kate Ballard has this beautiful phrase. She talks about the accidental narcissism of pain. And when we're really out to just save ourselves, that can happen pretty easily. And life can kind of go this way. And that's not Jesus's message. I mean, you really don't see that in Jesus's message. His message is much more expansive, much more other-oriented, much more community-oriented. Two great commandments: love the Lord your God, person right in front of you. There you go. And so that awakening of our souls is much more like this, And from a Christian New Church perspective, that's resurrection. That's life after death. That's where we die in this life, but then there's a beautiful awakening on the other side in heaven. And it's a much more expansive view, and that our souls continue to awaken more and more to all of eternity. Let that one sink in, to awaken more and more to all of eternity. Salvation does not have that same promise to it, right? Like, we're saved more and more to eternity. No, that doesn't quite work, right? Because if my patterning is all around like it's a game of survivor, it's about me surviving, it's about what do I need to do to survive, that's going to drive a certain perspective that can get off the rails pretty quickly. But if my job is to awaken more and more, not just to awaken my own soul, but to be with others as we share this journey of souls, angels in training, all walking each other home, like all those things, as soon as we say them, we just can feel that it's true. Boy, that's a powerful, powerful place to be. And that idea, folks, when we get there, and this beautiful thing in the New Testament line, and you'll find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. And that's how we'll know that it's God's yoke, that it's God's task that he's given us, because it's easy and it's light. And I think awakening has that feeling to it. It's just like, oh yeah, I just need to keep on waking up more and more. That takes time. That is not easy to do. And that's the kind of thing that we want to look at in this upcoming series we're going to be launching in 2 Sundays, hence, called What is My Purpose? And what I would like to invite all of you to do is right after this is to go onto our homepage, click on the events tab, click on the What is My Purpose small group, and sign up for a small group to talk about what is my purpose. We have 2 offerings. They'll be Wednesday and Thursday for 3 weeks. Each group just lasts an hour. We're pretty good. I mean, sometimes it goes a little longer, sometimes an hour and 15, but pretty close to an hour. And you get to chat with people from all over the country as we talk together about what is my purpose. I can safely say, folks, people love these groups. They end up being quite an experience. People make really, really close friends. They get to hear each other out. They get to understand things in brand new ways. It really is a pretty neat thing to watch how it all works. So I want to invite you to do that, just to continue this conversation on what is my purpose. And I'll actually put the link in the comments section on both my Facebook page and New Church Live's Facebook page if you want to follow up. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to watch our souls wake up. I mean, that's kind of it. And it's a beautiful thing, in so many ways, and powerful and moving. It's just good stuff. It's good. It's a good spiritual practice to hold into our lives, that let's focus some on awakening. Let's think about what that means. And let's think of it again, all of that looking this way, not this way. So that's the thought for today, friends, and I hope that makes a lot of sense. So what we're going to do now I'm going to ring our little prayer bell here. Listen to the prayer bell until it stops ringing as a way to clear your mind. Then when that's done, we'll do a little meditation. The meditation is based on a passage from the Old Testament. After that, we do a little prayer, and then we close with a little blessing. And then after all that, we say hello to folks on our social media platform. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's give a little cheery hello out there to folks. And let me just pull this up, pull this up, pull this up. And again, I hope all of you are doing great. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. I certainly have enjoyed we are having a little burst of warmer weather here out in the Philadelphia region, which sure is nice. All right, a lot of comments here. Oh, okay. All right. So, Kim, good morning to you and good morning to everyone. Share that. Uh, Sherry writes, "Good morning. So glad you had your morning glimmer. Love that Angels in Training. Yeah, hey, Angels in Training, just people get it right away. As soon as you say it, it's just like, oh yeah, of course. And it's interesting. Photographers call that time, and there's a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening. They actually call it the golden hour. And there's probably a photographer who's going to be more specific who will chime in, I'm sure, at some point in time. But anyhow, it's just kind of interesting, right? To think of the golden hour and just, yeah, what does that look like? And the beauty of that's really something else. Marcus, good morning to you. My dear buddy Dave. It's a good play on words there, Dave. God morning, good morning. That's good. And I'm sure, Dave, out on your farm, you've seen many a morning, right? Where you've just seen that holy restfulness just take root, which is beautiful. Gene agrees with that. Yep, that Angel in Training comment. Mary, powerful shift of perception, letting go of that personal salvation. It's all about me mission. I need a daily reminder on that one. It's so true, folks. And I just like when you play it out, right? When you play it out, I know when I was playing it out this morning, I'm like, if it's just all about my salvation, like, man, that makes me a jerk. It really does. It makes me pompous. It makes me righteous. It makes me scared. It makes me, I mean, it's not a great perspective to have. But awakening is something very different. And the idea of then we can start to see, because Jesus clearly talks about salvation. I mean, he's got language of salvation all throughout it. But then we can put it together, I think, in the right context, which is that awakening is salvation. Like that's what it is, as in heaven, so upon the earth. And I know we have some folks who watch this who are struggling around loss of loved ones, and that idea that they are awakening. I mean, that's so much the Christian New Church perspective. They are awakening to a new life, not to a judge. It's just very, very different. Gene, again, good morning to you. Sue writes, heavy heart this morning, and yeah, Sue, if you want to shoot a note out on that, please do. You can either text me or you can shoot a note to me on Facebook. But if there's something I can do to help with that, please let me know. And then Katie, I see you're joining us from out there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Great to have you joining us there, Katie. All right, dear friends. Well, God bless. Have a wonderful, amazing day, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.